Holy smokes. Heard the wind blowing. And it's going to get a little crowded in the shop here. Had to bring the tub buggy in. Because it looks like that snow is coming in soon. Doggone it. I thought we were done with that. Oh, listen to that. Sounds like rain or thunder. Hey folks, TheEZGZ here. I am going to save you some pain and suffering because I know what you like. And I got a little dragged out on this video and decided to make a new start for it. So I'm going to kind of give you a rundown of what's going on here. You already know that we're changing out the transmission in Valerie, and this was a donor transmission, and we had a few things that we were going to do. There was some plugs missing over here, and I had a question about the seal in the front. The axle seals appear to be okay, but I was wanting a little clarification on this. Apparently the detent springs for the shift shaft, I thought they were on this side right underneath the plugs, but as it turned out they were on the other side of the shaft. And the way I discovered that was by taking still another scrap intermediate housing from an old, you can see by the ugliness inside that transmission, this is an old dirt ball, and this is why I save everything, because it gives you material to examine and play with and steal parts from. Here's the hole here. What we did, and I'm saving you the trouble, is we drilled out this intermediate housing and discovered after a long period of time that the ball, here's one of the detent balls right here, comes in from the other side. So at any rate, I didn't have any materials on hand to plug the hole, and we ended up using a 1/2-13 set screw, and I'll show you how we drilled out this case over here. I didn't just fly in this thing and jump into it like it appears on the video. There was half a day of messing around over there on the bench, and I'm just going to save you the pain of going through all of that, and we'll just show you the last part of it here. But it did chew up the most part of the day, and that's what you're going to be seeing. So enjoy. Things have taken a change here since I started making this video. The weather is changing fast, and I just lost a space in my garage. I had to pull the dune buggy back in. I suppose I could throw a tarp over it, but that's just the way it is. Anyhow, back on the problem at hand. We measured the inside diameter of this plug hole, came out to be 400 thousandths. I tried it, it's almost exact same size as an 1/8" pipe plug, so that wasn't going to work. 1/4" pipe is too big, and long story short, I think a 1/2" 13 bolt is what I've got the proper tap drill, which is 27/64, and we're going to go with that. So, without further ado, here we go. I'm going to screw it up. Alright, try to tell me whether I'm straight or not, would you? How's it looking? Good thing I have a dull drill bit here. Actually, it's not a good thing, but I don't know what it is about me and drilling holes in Volkswagen transmissions, but it seems like it's becoming more common. Man, that one's going to be close. Woo! That got easy all of a sudden. I did not like that. I think we did okay though. Now, since it is magnesium, and I know from previous experience, you don't have to worry about lubrication when you're doing machining tasks. Clean that out real good with carburetor cleaner. I'm going back and forth to break the chips so that I have a nice clean thread. Now we know from taking our scrap intermediate housing that we did a dry run over there before we did this. But since I'm showing you, you don't have to go through all that much trouble. And okay, just to review, these are the detent holes, but the spring and the ball come in from the other side of the shift shaft. Woohoo! I always thought it was right underneath here. Somebody had warned me a long time ago that they pulled those shafts out and had a hell of a time getting them back in. And I've seen guys that had put silicone in there. They leaked. Of course, when you see a sand rail, and it doesn't take much of a leak to make a real mess. Now, hopefully, move your leg a little bit. Get the vacuum cleaner on. Now what I was starting to say is that is great to put in your backpack gear if you want something to help you start fires. That's the same thing as that stuff that you're scraping off of magnesium fire starter bars that you buy. Works great. I'll have to do a video of that sometime. Here, let me take you off the stand. Oh. Okay, let's see how those shreds came out. I don't know. See in there in the shafts? So, we're in good shape. Here is a big ol' 1/2-13 bolt. Screws right in there, nice and snug. So what we're going to do is run over to Ace Hardware and buy a couple of 1/2-13 set screws, a 1/2 inch long. Okay, we just made our trip back and forth to the hardware store. Got a couple of set screws, 1/2 by 13 inch thread, 1/2 inch long. And all we're trying to do is keep the oil in and the dirt out. It was losing some oil previously, so we're not going to tighten this thing down, but I've got some Teflon tape on there. You know, actually that feels like I might go with a little bit. I probably could have put some silicone or some kind of goo on there, because you know that when this thing gets hot, which it will, it's going to expand, and the steel isn't going to expand at the same rate. That's a little tighter. Yeah, baby. And I think I'll just add a little bit more. I've never had clean, dry Volkswagens for very long. I drive the heck out of my stuff, and as it gets older, I don't know. Somebody was telling me the other day that they use that 3M contact cement. It's yellow. There's nothing about it that says high temperature. It's just the same old contact cement, and they've been using it for quite some time with good results. And I looked at the store for it. I was thinking about using it to put that 1.5 quart sump on, and couldn't find it. They had a lot of different brands, but when somebody tells you a specific brand name, I'm going to stick with that. You know, they had Loctite and Duco or something like that that look good. And grab you off the stand here. I'll let you examine this for approval. That's not so bad. We got 2 plugs, and then we got the factory plug on top. Looks like it was weeping a little bit, but I'm not going to disturb it. And we got her cleaned up, and I think we're about ready. I've just been dragging my feet all day. Now I got this other car in here. It's going to make it a little bit more difficult. Okay, with that done, the last thing I was going to do was change this front transmission seal. But upon further examination, I've decided I'm not going to. I don't know if this will show up in the camera. See that moist ring? It's not, this thing's lined with steel. It doesn't want to show up on the camera. See that little bit of dribble of oil? What I did was there's still some oil in the transmission, not very full, and there was a little oil in this bell housing area that it could have come from the transmission or the flywheel seal on the back of the front of the engine. Depends on how you're talking and who you're talking to. So what I did is I just tilted it up and looked underneath. Not a drop was coming out, and then I pushed the shaft to the side, and it started just pouring out, dripping right out. So I know that the seal is pliable, and I'm going to leave it in there since this whole thing is just a big test anyhow. The front of this shaft, and I'm glad it's not all chewed up, is goes into the pilot bearing called the gland nut in the back of the crankshaft. So that's what holds this centered and allows the seal. It's not loose in there flopping around in the seal. So I think we're going to be okay there, and I think this is ready to do its job. It's already late afternoon. I can't believe it. The day's just flown by, and got distracted with a couple things as usual, and haven't even started with the car, but posted up that one video, and I may or not post this up today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subbing. TheEZGZ out.